I'm gonna say this, y'all get mad if y'all want to. I'm only interested in being a mom to a girl. I'm not carrying a son to term, and if I do, they're not coming home from the hospital with me. I'm not raising a son by any means necessary.
You hear women, they say, how much does a man need to make? And they're like, $1 million a year. They have to make minimum to date them.
Women have no clue what they want. They want a dad bod, but the dad bod's Jason Mimoa. He's never asked a woman her opinion because she doesn't know what she's talking about. And they said, yeah, we like dad bods. We don't like bodybuilders. And then I turned to the woman, I said, so what do you think of me? She's like, yeah, you have a good dad bod. I'm like, I'm a professional bodybuilder. What are you talking about?
So WNBA players were wearing a t-shirt that reads, "Pay us what you owe us." Okay, let's do the math. So the WNBA lost $40 million in 2024 and is projected to lose the same in 2025. The NBA subsidizes $15 million of this loss annually. So after the subsidy is paid out, that's still $25 million in losses. You have 144 players in the WNBA. That means it's $173,611 per player. The average salary of WNBA players is $147,745, way too much. Meaning you'd have to take a full pay cut to reduce down the $173,000 in debt that all of you owe, and then you would have to pay out $28,836 just to play in the WNBA to be at break even. Nobody owes you anything, but actually all of you owe $28,836. That is so tough.
There's a trend right now where people are saying, I go to bed at 8 o'clock, I'm married, I have kids, I'm very stable in my life right now. And then they go to a next slide where they say, oh, but there was a time. And it's always like, hey, I did some crazy stuff. For guys, it's always, I was in the military, I did law enforcement, or I worked in like the oil field or something like that. Some kind of crazy construction related project. But for women, it's always like, I haven't seen one that is not this. Every single woman, it's always, I was extremely promiscuous. Every single one. Normally, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh, you can do whatever you want. If you want to make bad decisions, I'm not going to stop you. I don't care. Do whatever you want. But a lot of these women are putting pictures of themselves with men who are not their husband, that are pictured in the first picture. So it's a different man they're with. And they're saying, oh, but there was a time. Why are you disrespecting your man like that? Why are you disrespecting your family like that? That is, do you have no shame or sense of morality or accountability? Like,
no. I'm not giving my son up for adoption, and that's it.
This is adoption papers.
For who?
For Elijah.
I don't understand.
I want to put Elijah up for adoption.
Well, no, you're not gonna do that. First of all, you're not gonna do that.
Is it bad?
How are you gonna do that without even talking to me about it?
Elijah up for adoption.
Well, we're not putting Elijah up for adoption. This is your son. Like, you're gonna be with him all the way until he's 18 and past that. That's your baby boy. Like, no, all you gotta do is love him, be his mom, and that's it. Like, don't talk about no adoption. And whatever stress, like, you have being a mom, like, just talk to me about it. I'm pretty sure we can work it out. I can help you. Like, if there's any way I can help you, let me know.
Are you done? I'm trying to let you talk.
Are you serious, bro?
Are you done?
Why are you being so rude? How about we give you up for adoption? How about me and Elijah, we stay in the house and we move on and we give you up for adoption?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've known me longer than Elijah. You've only known Elijah for 1 year.
Yeah, but listen, that's my son. I'm not going to leave my son alone by himself.
But you've only known him for 1 year.
No, I'm not going to leave him alone to figure things out, bro.
No, I already signed him.
You already signed him. What do you mean you already signed him?
Put him up for
you
adoption.
did not sign nothing without me. What do you mean? You can't sign anything without
his
me.
mom.
No. What kind of person just gives their son up for adoption after his first birthday? I thought way better of you. I would never imagine you doing something like this.
You're not going to change my mind. Like, I'm putting him up for adoption, and that's it.
No, you're not.
He's going to go with the great family.
No, you're not. I'm not putting him up for adoption. I'm not putting him up for adoption.
No.
That's how I feel about those pictures. I'm not giving my son up for adoption, and that's it.
What do you... Whoa. Thank you. I can explain.
She can explain to a wall. I never understood why they think it is funny or okay to disrespect their husbands and then try and play victim after the fact when their husband leaves them for it. I guess attention from strangers on the internet is more important to them than their own families.
Men are not strong. Men are not brave. Men are afraid. Men are weak.
Let me tell you something about women.
Hey.
Women would have us believe that they are the victims, that we break their hearts for sport. They say they want true love, but all they want is a checklist. Is he perfect? Is he handsome? Is he a doctor? For you men who fit the criteria, don't kid yourselves, because they're not sleeping with you. You're sleeping with a carefully calculated set of venal choices. Money over substance, looks over soul, polish over principles. No gesture, no matter how real or romantic, will ever compensate for a really impressive list of credentials. That's the ugly truth. A girl in heat for two guys will always choose the one with the better resume.
A man with money is expected to share, but a woman with money is told she doesn't need a man. Same income, totally different rules. Let me explain before you get mad. In our culture, men are taught from day one that if they're not earning, they're failing. If they can't provide, they're not real men. If they don't pick up the check, they're broke or stingy. A man's value is often reduced to his financial output. Now flip the script. When women become successful, we don't expect them to carry anybody. In fact, we celebrate it as a form of freedom. Yes, queen, you're independent. She doesn't need a man. He's expected to provide, but she's expected to escape. Because if we really want partnership, then we need to stop placing all the financial burden on one side, while celebrating freedom on the other.
Well, if they're that old and they still want younger girls, there's also a problem.
Well, let's say if he's 40, dating a 20-year-old, would that be weird?
It's pushing it.
Pushing it.
100%. You should have morals as men and as women.
There we go. So
where you do not look at women under a certain age or at that point because it's just morally.
Okay, so you think it's immoral. Who agrees with her? Show of hands.
I don't really know.
It's funny because all of you women have on makeup. The makeup is to cover up wrinkles, to cover up blemishes, to make you look younger. So you're always trying to present yourself in the most youthful way. So with that being said, it can't be immoral if you're actually trying to look young to the guys that you're dating. Like you're 40 years old, but you're putting on makeup trying to look young. Well, if you think that it's weird, why don't you not put on makeup and just actually try to look your age? But the thing is, it can't be weird because you're not trying to look your age. You're all trying to look younger.
He's exactly right. They say it's immoral, yet at the same time, I guarantee these same women were dating older men when they were younger. The real reason they see a problem with it isn't because of morals, but because they know they can't compete with younger women, so they have to try shaming men into picking them instead.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets a dog, where all of those things.
Okay, so where would you live? Who gets the time with the kids? Who gets the dog? Do you have a job? Or are you expecting this husband that you're planning on leaving to foot the bill for this?
Okay, had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years.
Pause. So you've been searching for something in your relationship for 10 years, right? Why did you say yes? Why would you say yes to a marriage? You just wanted the title of a wife, but not the duties of a wife. That's why you said yes. And then did you even talk to him about what you were looking for? Because I'm confused on what you were looking for.
There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason, that is the reason why I have not left.
There is nothing about your husband that you do not love, but yet you are searching for something. Just finish.
Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it.
Okay, so he is disciplined, he is hardworking, he helps you with the kids, he married you, but your expectations of what you want your relationship are not met. What the else is there to do? What else is there to do? I am so confused. Like, is there something I'm missing? Because girl, you done named everything he's supposed to be doing. And what the are you doing to contribute to the relationship? You think that maybe you ain't meeting all his needs? I don't know. It seems like you are trying to be a victim when it seems like you're in fact the villain.
The fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3 and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself or you don't love me for who I am isn't really fair because
you can't be yourself with your husband. Who the are you? And why are you hiding it from your husband? Who the are you, an undercover stripper? Are you a fucking waitress? What can't you do with your husband? This is confusing. And you're 30, what you said, 32? Girl, you look 40. You need to stay with this man. No, you don't even know who you are, but yet you expect him to know who you are? Girl, be so for real. All right, so needless to say, this girl is highly confused. She is living in an alternate universe. So when she gets out here and she realizes that these men are not playing with her, her husband's gonna take her back for sure. He's gonna take her back. She's gonna rip around the streets, get ran through, all this other stuff, and see that the world is not a nice place and that she should have stayed at home with her husband. It does not make sense. Like what you said, you are literally just a fucking villain. That's it. That poor man should leave you.
Notice how she conveniently leaves out what her expectations are that he somehow failed to meet. This isn't on accident, and they aren't stupid. She just doesn't want to admit the truth as to why she really filed for divorce, since it would make her look like a terrible person. Now, I hope someone shows him this video, so he is aware of how the person he thought he could trust truly feels about him. And I hope he has enough self-respect not to tolerate this behavior.
Y'all have to see this.
Would you mind telling me the quick story of how you first met?
I was chasing her for years. She didn't respond to me, but I never gave up. Now I know some of y'all gonna be like, what's wrong with that response? He was just persistent. Listen to the reason.
What made you respond eventually?
I got older after a while, and I was like, you know what, it's time to go. The egg's gonna get scrambled after a while.
I don't even know how he just sat there. I would have hit that phone with one of these.
Her 3-year-old child.
And the worst part about this is she gave him a chance finally 6 years ago. He was chasing her 5 years before that. After all that persistence, her reasoning for getting with him was, well, I was getting older. The eggs are about to get scrambled. I'm gonna let y'all know right now, that's how you'll be able to tell if I'm in a hostage situation. If I'm on camera standing and smiling and a lady says, well, you know, Ryan was just chasing after me for years and I just finally gave him a chance. Call 911, call SWAT, call the FBI, call CIA. I've been kidnapped and I'm being held against my will.
I called my suegra because my wife wouldn't get up and cook. Hola, mamá, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú? Dile tú.
Bien. Allá, on the couch.
Ay, esa niña, siempre me tienes por
I know.
Betty, ¿dónde estás? Ay, mija, ¿qué estás haciendo?
Estoy viendo la novela, mamá, las hijas de la señora García.
Ay, Leti, por favor, me tiene que hablar Yasha para que le puedas cocinar.
It's time to get up and cook.
Qué bárbara.
Es que estoy viendo la novela, mamá.
Híjole, parece tú floja. Párate, vamos a cocinar, vete a cocinar. O yo le cocino. ¿No lo veas así? Híjole.
You see her, hija, ma?
Híjole. Oh.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I promise you will love this next video. I will see you there.